Wow, it's always somebody else's fault because your mommy gave birth to you in a world where you are not the ruler of, isn't it? That's about it. That summarizes what happened in Adam and Eve's story. Go and read it. Become God? What do you mean become God? When they ate the apple, you know? Well, I just gave you anything. You are in my image. In my language, it's translated as my picture and opportunity, which is a much, much better description of, well, God's creation, God's imagination. Now, let's talk about Eve. What do you think become God? I already gave you anything. You already are a part of me. I already said in some of my previous videos, I am, therefore, I have nothing to become in order to be. The English language has some strange words that you have to interpret a little different. For example, I've seen translations of the biblical stories as like to become means to, to conceive a baby, to have a baby actually. In my language, that's not so. So those who wanted to make a translation a long, long time ago, they did it, they did it in a strange way. They used some strange words. So let's go back. And God probably said this. As I already said, you people don't know how to read. Let me explain to you. So Eve, what do you mean become God? You already are a part of me. That's why I'm going to multiply your pain. In our translation is pain, not sorrows. You're going to give birth in pain, and the man will be the master over you. What do you mean become? And you, Adam, what did he say to Adam? He told him, well, basically, you'll just be a slave of your work. The whole description after that story, all descriptions about people, nations, and blah, 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 were the descriptions of, generally, thievery, lying, everything that is not you, not the real you. Why? Because, just think about slavery. It actually became in those some kind of Arabic countries, it's a lie. So to Adam, you're going to be a slave of your work. Even when you have sex, when you fuck Eve, you're going to have to work. This is what God gave you. Actually, God didn't give it to you. He just told you this is the way it's going to be. I told you not to eat from that tree, didn't I? So basically what you are trying, the good people, righteous people, they always work, mind their own business, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, this is the main thing. You always have to work for something. And look at Eve. She got very smart over the centuries. Yeah, she needed centuries to realize that she can work. She can do whatever Adam does, except for, where she lacks physical strength. So today, in these days, the last days, somebody who has knowledge about whatever things wanted to unite that knowledge and to make you pay. Make what pay? Those are the people who have ideas and have too much. They wanted to unite all the knowledge. That's why you have robots and shit like that. You're going to the moon. What do you think, people? You're gonna go to the moon. You're gonna go to another galaxy. No, you won't. Only like 100, 200 chosen people will go there. What the fuck do I need to know about universe? Is there a life in the universe? How stupid can you be to have the knowledge there is some kind of intelligence out there, like we call it God, I don't know, spirit, God, whatever. What kind of stupid idiot do you have to be to believe in, well, I have to investigate, I have to this, I have to that? No, you don't. And no, I don't. And what am I supposed to do? You still need slaves to work for you, to give you the money to work in NASA and to be an astronaut or whatever something. You can't even produce the fucking cure for cancer or something like that. You need, I don't know what you need, probably centuries. So let me finish this, what I started. So she will give birth in pain. You cannot become God. So she gives birth to the children, especially in the old days. You know, she gives birth to the children. She's trying to be God, but she cannot. She has a false God, the man, you know, her husband or the man. She has a world of illusions where she cannot remember who she is. We all sort of depend on each other, which you see from the illusion called the family. We all depend on each other, upon each other, you know. And she's constantly trying, but it doesn't work. She's trying to be God to her children. So if she's not satisfied, if she's too sensitive, if she's forced to marriage, look at what happens in countries that have these Hindus and strict Islamic countries where they actually sell their own children, you know. In other words, Eve, you're going to pay everything with your pussy, whether you like it or not. You'll be judged by it. You'll be judged by vaginal abilities. You'll be a saint or a whore. So there'll be one Adam, or you'll meet two or three. It doesn't matter. But this is the explanation. He will always try to conquer the nature, conquer you. In fact, they're usually bad lovers. This is the truth. You are bad lovers. So you have to keep on trying to prove yourselves, to a woman, to yourself, to your friends. You know, men like to talk, to brag about things. So they brag about women this, women that. I've noticed that very, very early, from the early stages of my life, that how they love to brag about something that doesn't fucking exist. I remember my uncle, for example, you know, somebody in my family, as I was growing up, I remember other boys, they actually don't see themselves in the mirror at all. These are the times when they started. We do have internet. We do have some kind of knowledge, you know. And yes, we have a lot of, how do you say? We are very lucky to have all that. But it's the matter of will. Will you or won't you? So Adam, you have to be a slave. You have to be a slave of your work, a slave of proving yourself to others, to your parents, to this, to that. And then we come to the end. The end means I'm never satisfied. I'm never satisfied enough, that is. There's always somebody else who will pay. This is when we come to, for example, in the Bible, to the New Testament where Jesus died. That's the most important reason. There are many reasons why he died, but that's the most important reasons that he died. To uplift your ability to see, hear, and to work on your awareness. That's why I already said, he didn't die for you, strictly for you. He died because of you. He died for his father, for his father, because he is almighty, for his plan, for his mission, because he knew all that. When you see me, you see God. That's what he told you. Whatever you do to somebody else, you did it to me. You already saw God in me, but you did this or that to me anyway. So it goes the same for Adam, it goes the same for Eve. And that's also the main reason when he was before he was crucified, when he said, "Don't cry over me, cry over your children." It's of course he saw what's coming. Of course he saw. He knew, actually, he and his father are one, actually, because he was created by the word itself. Why don't you go somewhere in the desert and say, blah, 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 blah. And there it is. Because you haven't been given that kind of power. But he was the word. He knew the word. He is the word, actually. He came to show you what is the word. The words, you say, will become your God. Because you like, especially in the English-speaking regions, you love the word become. So basically, what Satan told you, that from the very beginnings, it's been told to you, you'll always have the roles to play. Now I'm this, now I'm that, now I'm going to be a car mechanic, or I'm going to be an astronaut, I'm going to be an actress. This is a very interesting occupation. And these people, actors and actresses, they're very interesting to me because I cannot repeat one thing 50 times and to look the same. So what does it tell me? It tells me one important thing. Emotion is what matters. The emotion. I remember the emotion, if you're still here, you're listening to what I'm saying, if you probably had an experience of maybe let's say betrayal. It doesn't matter from whom. Friend, mother, father, granddad, cousin, whatever. You probably had that experience. Just take only one experience. Just one. And do you remember that kind of feeling? You remember it forever. Forever. And this is what matters. When you look at the movie and there is a scene in the movie, it doesn't matter which movie, and there is a scene where you just feel something. They can do it so well. If the actresses, if they do it so good, so well, that it's just unbelievable. It's just something that you remember. So basically, they're very talented people. So you always find somebody to pay. I'm your girlfriend today, but I have to pay for some bullshit from your stupid past. I cannot tell you how many people like that I've met in my life, for example, in mine. And I see it in other people's lives. No, that doesn't mean I had too many boyfriends. In fact, I never had a long-term relationship like 5-10 years or something, because it's just not necessary. I read people too well. In other words, I feel them. When they talk, how they move. The guy just he wanted to buy me a cup of coffee. He just called the waiter, and I knew something. I just knew. his behavior, his voice, just everything. I knew something about him. So I'm extremely, extremely hard to get. And I've always been like that. And people have always been telling me that, I can be fun, I can tell jokes or something, but I always stay faithful to myself. Because this is your true life, to stay faithful to yourself. But there's always somebody or something that will come to, or maybe I can call it your test, to test you, to say something, to whatever, to do something or to say something to you, just to test you. Where are you? And this is how you test yourselves. Yeah, you fail all the time. So do I. But maybe lately, since I've decided that, I've seen that too many things are wrong with this world. Just terribly, terribly fucking wrong. And I've decided really to live for myself. Why should I pay something for you? Why should I pay something for anybody? Why don't you pay me? I have nothing. I can put a few suitcases and I can put my things in a few suitcases and a few boxes and a few bags maybe, and that's it. So who the fuck are you to judge me? I always wanted to live alone. I always lived alone, except for roommates, I never needed a man. If you want to talk, well, just fine. Somebody liked me, somebody didn't like me. No, I'm always alone. And the place where I grew up, where I was born and I grew up, I bet there is no one who can even say that I had a boyfriend. And I didn't. Basically, I didn't. Because it takes me a few days to realize who this guy is. I never saw it as a gift. I saw it as a curse because my mom told me that, you have to fit in somewhere. I cannot fit in. I feel people. I read people too well. And I never saw it as a gift. I was wondering, is it a curse or is it a gift, But of course, it's a gift. And now, today, when I look back, when I look at my friends, most of them are divorced, whatever. I'm not going to go into that. Only 2 of them live in marriages. Only 2 of them. One of them, because she is religious and they're all so fucking traditional, And when people live like that, they live by their own rules and this is it, basically. There's nothing else and, you obey rules, blah, blah, blah. They're not bad people. But then they start to measure other people's lives by their own rules, habits that they have, but their own values. You're not going to do that to me, are you? And the second friend, who is still married, she's still married because she lives too good. She has more money than him. They are also a little traditional, yes, but she has more money than him. So that's the secret of success. Whatever guarantees you, as a human being, greater power or safety or whatever it is, for you, it's usually money. Usually it's money. You'll go there. Whatever gives you safety, you'll go more and more safety. And if you can use it for something or somehow manipulate with that, to remain there, you're going to go there. And another thing, this is the reason why Jesus said, leave the rich people alone, they have their own comfort. But you fucking don't. You probably don't, because if you did, you'd never come to him, right? This is so interesting. It's actually so easy, but you people don't know how to read. You are literate, but you are illiterate at the same time. This is the perfection of God, as I see it. He is yes and no at the same time. Plus, if you move away, 2 steps away, you see there is no time. Everything is in one little dot. You just put one little dot on the paper, any paper. Everything is in there. So that means, what does that mean? Well, it means to me something else. It means we are the descendants of God. The one, you know. We're not the descendants of, I don't know what, whatever they try to tell you. We're not the descendants of artificial intelligence, are we? So basically, I've got one sentence, just one little sentence, that I can beat the best designed robot in the world. And I'm not going to tell you which sentence it is. Well, obviously, those who created all these AI robots and shit like that, they are obviously incapable of, how do I say this in English? Of fulfilling the failed Adam's dream. The failed Adam is the Adam who beat the apple. He tries and tries in this way, that way, manipulative way, this way, that way, wars in the world, everything. You just read throughout the history, all his activities show you that he is not your God. He doesn't rule over land. He doesn't rule over you. He can call a dog, come here, you know, and the dog comes. But he doesn't even rule the dog, because the dogs can bite too if you treat them badly or just run away. The failed Adam always has a million attempts to go back into the original Adam, to go back to where he is originally from, but he can't. He has money. He invented money. He fucked whores. He invented harems of women. In fact, these are all proofs how stupid he is, and that all his efforts are actually they're fruitless, because lives are disappearing, and women have to suffer because of their vaginal abilities, just like God told her. You'll only actually be judged by your vaginal abilities. Wherever you are, if you're married, if you're not, if you are a nun, you are already judged, because number one, you already accepted a role, some kind of role in this illusionary world. That's number one. And number two, you've been judged already. Oh, she's a nun, she's good, she's a virgin, you know. It's so fucking important what you do with your pussy. It's unbelievable to me. 21st century. People fly to space and shit like that. I'm tired of paying for people who, you know, who make space stations and shit like that, you know. Why do taxpayers have to pay everything? I'll tell you one little secret. There is an old proverb in my country, old proverb, centuries old, that goes like this. People are cattle. And so are you, folks. So are you. Wherever you work, in the restaurant, in Germany, in China, especially in China, they judge everybody like a number. Because they, you know, a lot of cattle, a lot of fucking money. plus something else. Remember that Mary and that Jesus was born in a barn with cattle. His mother, mother of God, she was put in a barn with cattle, cow, sheep, chickens. I don't know what they keep there. We regard it as food, don't we? Because if you live in the village and you have 3 cows, 10 sheep, whatever, it's food. Today it's money. And tomorrow, when there is no money, what it will be tomorrow? Yeah, I kind of wonder. We already hate each other. We hate ourselves. We hate our religions. We hate actually everything that God told to failed Adam. Now that you beat the apple, let earth and everything on earth be cursed because of you. That's translation in my Bible. In my language, actually. It's not translated from I'm not saying as it is, for example, in King James's Bible. It's been translated like this in my language. And it is cursed. Look what you do to Mother Nature. Yeah, I wonder how many thousands of years will she have to restore her, life on earth, her life. Of course, Mother is a nature. Mother is female. This is so connected, more connected than you'd think, people. You don't know how to read, do you? But you know how to tell me, how to preach me about this, about that, about whatever it is. But I was on the right way to listen a few of them. But I'm the kind of person who likes to... It's not that I like it, it's my natural ability, actually. Yeah, I kind of read and I see the mistakes. And that's it. Somebody told me about, it's more than 20 years ago, somebody told me, this is a job for you. When I saw in the newspaper, in the newspapers there was an ad, I'm looking for a private detective, and there was one woman who told me, this is a job for you. This is a job for you. Yeah, I still remember it to this day. But I'd like to tell you something. There was a wise man about 100 years ago who said, you live in certain circumstances. They enslave you. This is your cage. But that, you have, for example, religious people, they have too many rules. Whatever it is. You live in those cages, but you need them to get out. When you become aware that you are in a cage, a slavery, some kind of manipulation or bad business, whatever, that's your opportunity to get out. There is one video, maybe about 10 minutes, I made it like 2 years ago. It's called 10 Little Monkeys. It's a story about 10 little monkeys in the cage. So you go to YouTube and find it. It's in English. So you'll understand.